So I've had some videos pop up on my feed for a while now, and I think that you may have stumbled across them too. And what I'm about to share with you is probably going to interest you, so stick around. So these videos that have been popping up on my feed are essentially this video kind of shitting on Gen Alpha and explaining how their generation is doomed and that it will fail, that essentially there's no hope for them and that they will just be doomed. So if you don't know, Gen Alpha is essentially the people, like the kids born today, all the way up to age like 9 or 10. Now I'm not sure, correct me on this, but essentially they're the pretty young generation. And these videos have been saying that they're doomed because they're going to be growing up in a world that's more stimulating, more gratifying than ever before. Like, we grew up without Instagram. Essentially, like, Instagram was around, but it hadn't morphed into what it is today until we were like 10, 11. And even then, maybe you hadn't had Instagram, and even if you did, hopefully you didn't use it that much. But them, I mean, instead of iPad kids, they're gonna be iPhone 14 Pro Max, 5 gigabytes, ultra storage TikTok kids. Like, they're gonna have access to the newest and latest technology as kids. And so the damage that these things will have on them is greater than what it has done to us. Like, honestly, Instagram, TikTok, video games they're not good things for us, but those things are going to be presented to our younger generation in even more gratifying and even more stimulating forms and at a younger age. And because they'll be given those things at a younger age, the effects that those things will have on them is going to be absolutely disastrous. And so honestly, I do agree with these things, and that's basically the whole point of these videos. It's to express like the lurking inevitability that Gen Alpha will fall into a trap of instant gratification and constant consumerism and stimulation. But honestly, I don't think that this generation is doomed. Like, honestly, I think that if we, the generation before them, and even people who are now 23, 24 years old, if we can become good role models for these young kids, and if we can teach them to get on self-improvement, to avoid the bad habits, to start meditating, to go to the gym, then I don't think that they're doomed, and that they are going to fail. I mean, nowadays, it's not that weird to see a 14-year-old in the gym, right? Like, you've probably seen those videos saying that modern society has made men weak. Honestly, I've made some videos like that. But honestly, modern society has also sculpted groups that have pushed men up and that have helped men get on self-improvement and become better versions of themselves. Like, because modern society has made men weak, modern society has also created people who make men stronger. Like, hard times create strong men, and strong men create good times. Like, that's essentially what we're in. But I think we're no longer in the hard times create strong men. We're in the strong men create hard time, because strong men are starting to rise up. And if these strong men can teach our younger generation to be like them, then I don't think that this younger generation, which is Gen Alpha, is doomed to fail. However, what I think we will see is this split of people who are totally in this instant gratification, constant dopamine world. But the other group is going to be like super high level people who have stepped away from those desires and from those activities, and who are on self-improvement, who are meditating, who are going to the gym, who are reading, and who are essentially like superhumans. So whether Gen Alpha steps into this world of instant gratification and consumerism depends on whether the people, their role models, step in that world. So essentially, like, Gen Alpha's fate rests in our hand. And so no, I don't think that they're doomed. I think that, like, of Gen Alpha kids who fall into the TikTok trap at a very young age, then it'll be very, very hard for them to get out. Not impossible, but it'll be very hard, because their attention span will be fried. But it'll have been fried at such a young age that it'll be very hard for them to claw their way out of the hole that they've dug themselves in. And so I think that people who raise their kids with iPads and who let them have TikTok and Instagram, and who let them gratify themselves all the time, will see their kids become shadows of what they could be if at a young age these kids didn't partake in instant gratification. Alright, I hope this helped you, and I cannot wait to see the progress that you make. Cheers, bro.